Quero agradecer a este senhor que está aqui. Sem este senhor que está aqui, em primeiro lugar. Segundo, aos jogadores, todo o staff que participou, toda a malta que esteve envolvida nesta conquista. Nada acreditava em Portugal e a verdade é que conseguimos. Para todos, conseguimos. Muito feliz, dos dias mais felizes da minha vida. Nem em troféus individuais, nem em Champions. Este é o momento mais feliz da minha vida. Já chorei 3 ou 4 vezes. O meu irmão até já me chamou e disse: já chega. Eu disse: eu não consigo. É um momento de verdade, mesmo do coração, juro pelo meu filho. É o momento mais feliz da minha vida. Estou mesmo contente, mas contente. Podia repetir 100 vezes. Estou mesmo feliz. Era o título que me faltava na minha carreira. Graças a vocês. Malta toda aqui. Jogadores. Staff todo. Treinador outra vez. Com fé, com Mr. Teve. Para mim, marcou-me. Vou ser sincero. Os médicos, seguranças, o Joaquim, que é o meu sócio, Ricardo, Miguel, o meu irmão Miguel. Do fundo do coração, estou mesmo feliz e merecemos isto. Entramos na história de Portugal, fomos os primeiros.
अमेरिकी बहनों और भाइयों, आपके इस स्नेहपूर्ण और जोरदार स्वागत से मेरा हृदय अपार हर्ष से भर गया है। मैं आपको दुनिया के सबसे पौराणिक भिक्षुओं की तरफ से धन्यवाद देता हूं। मैं आपको सभी धर्मों की जननी की तरफ से धन्यवाद देता हूं और मैं आपको सभी जाति संप्रदाय के लाखों करोड़ों हिंदुओं की तरफ से धन्यवाद देता हूं। मेरा धन्यवाद उन वक्ताओं को भी जिन्होंने इस मंच से यह कहा कि दुनिया में सहनशीलता का विचार सुदूर पूरब के देशों से फैला है। मुझे गर्व है कि मैं एक ऐसे धर्म से हूं जिसने दुनिया को सहनशीलता और सार्वभौमिक स्वीकृति का पाठ पढ़ाया है। हम सिर्फ सार्वभौमिक सहनशीलता में ही विश्वास नहीं रखते, बल्कि हम विश्व के सभी धर्मों को सत्य के रूप में स्वीकार करते हैं। मुझे गर्व है कि मैं एक ऐसे देश से हूं जिसने इस धरती के सभी देशों के सताए गए लोगों को शरण दी है। मुझे यह बताते हुए गर्व हो रहा है कि हमने अपने हृदय में उन इजरायलियों की शुद्धतम स्मृतियां बचा कर रखी हैं जिनके मंदिरों को रोमनों ने तोड़ कर खंडहर बना दिया और तब उन्होंने दक्षिण भारत में शरण ली। मुझे इस बात का गर्व है कि मैं एक ऐसे धर्म से हूं जिसने महान पारसी देश के अवशेषों को शरण दी और अभी भी उन्हें बढ़ावा दे रहा है। भाइयों, मैं आपको एक श्लोक की कुछ पंक्तियां सुनाना चाहूंगा जिसे मैंने बचपन से स्मरण किया और दोहराया है और जो रोज करोड़ों व्यक्तियों द्वारा हर दिन दोहराया जाता है। जिस तरह विभिन्न धाराओं की उत्पत्ति विभिन्न स्रोतों से होती है, उसी प्रकार मनुष्य अपनी इच्छा के अनुरूप अलग अलग मार्ग चुनता है। वो देखने में भले सीधे साधे या टेढ़े मेढ़े लगें, पर सभी भगवान तक ही जाते हैं। वर्तमान सम्मेलन, जो कि आज तक की सबसे पवित्र सभाओं में से है, स्वयं में गीता में बताए गए एक सिद्धांत का प्रमाण है। जो भी मुझ तक आता है, चाहे किसी भी रूप में, मैं उस तक पहुंचता हूं। सभी मनुष्य विभिन्न मार्गों पर संघर्ष कर रहे हैं, जिसका अंत मुझ में है। सांप्रदायिकता, कट्टरता और इसके भयानक वंशज हठधर्मिता लंबे समय से पृथ्वी को अपने शिकंजे में जकड़े हुए हैं। इन्होंने पृथ्वी को हिंसा से भर दिया है। कितनी बार ही ये धरती खून से लाल हुई है, कितनी ही सभ्यताओं का विनाश हुआ है और कितने देश नष्ट हुए हैं। अगर ये भयानक राक्षस नहीं होते तो आज मानव समाज कहीं ज्यादा उन्नत होता, लेकिन अब उनका समय पूरा हो चुका है। मुझे पूरी उम्मीद है कि आज इस सम्मेलन का शंखनाद सभी हठधर्मिता, हर तरह के क्लेश, चाहे वो तलवार से हो या कलम से, और हर एक मनुष्य जो कि एक ही लक्ष्य की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, के बीच की दुर्भावनाओं का विनाश करेगा।
don't worry. Any mistake is an income, is a wonderful revenue for you. So I told myself and told my young people, before 20 years old, be a good student. When you do entrepreneur, just learn some experience. Before 30 years old, follow somebody. Go to a small company. Normally in a big company, it is good to learn processing. You are a part of a big machine. But when you go to a small company, you learn the passion, you learn the dreams. You learn how to do a lot of things at one time. So before 30 years old, it's not which company you go, it's which boss you follow. It's very important. A good boss teaches you differently. And from 30 to 40 years old, you have to think very clearly, you're working for yourself if you really want to be an entrepreneur. When you're 40 to 50 years old, you have to do all the things that you are good at. Don't try to jump into the new area. It's too late. You may be successful, but the rate of dying is too big. So 40 to 50, think about how can you focus on things that you are good at. But when you are 50 to 60 years old, work for the young people. Because young people can do better than you. So rely on them, invest on them, making sure they're good. So when you are over 60 years old, spend time for yourself. On the beach, sunshine, right? It's too late for you to change normally. But this is my advice to the young people. 25 years old, make enough mistakes. Don't worry. You fall, you stand up. You fall, you stand up. Enjoy it. I mean, 25 years old, enjoy the show, enjoy the show.
Okay, thank you. 또 다음 질문 받겠습니다.
26살 예비 창업자 김유진입니다. 마인에게 질문 드리겠습니다. 지금까지 살아오면서 가장 후회되는 것이 무엇인가요? 그리고 혹시 물어본 적도 있으시나요?
Yeah.
Your answer doesn't have to be wrong.
Normally, I make other people cry. Well, I regret a lot of things. I regret that I should never meet the media. I regret I should not speak in the public because I could have my own privacy. I regret that I working so hard, spend so little time with my family. And I regret that if I have another life, I would never do things like this. And my wife just said, you do not belong to me, you belong to the Alibaba. But, you know, life is so short. It's all about experience. People see different view. Some people think you're rich, you're successful, but maybe not. Some people say, you know, this guy does not have money, is a terrible guy. Maybe not. So everybody chooses his own life. I cried. Never sort of we had a lot of problems that people never thought. Because running a company for 34,000 young people, operate a company for more than 500 million people. If 500 million people, if 1% of them are bad guy, you got a 5 million bad guy. So it's headache. But it's too late to regret. Forget about regret. Think about, I have another 10, 20 years to go. So enjoy the show, enjoy the ride. You are the same.
Okay.
Extraordinary is something very, very different. This is about recognizing within yourself that there's something very, very extraordinary that you haven't been trained to believe in, to come to a place where you can apply it and put it into your life. You can go way beyond ordinary. You can go way beyond just being average.
Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20% of our brain's capacity. There are more connections in the human body than there are stars in the galaxy. We possess a gigantic network of information.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up.
The difference between success and failure is opportunity.
Every day I'm hustling.
Because if you're willing to go through all the battling you got to go through to get to where you want to get, who's got the right to stop you? I mean, maybe some of you guys got something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to somebody, something, and you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody.
Don't let anything stand in the way of the light that shines through this form. Risk being seen in all of your glory.
Find new territory. Break new ground. Ask yourself what makes you come alive and then go do that. Because what the world needs is people who have come alive.
Dreams without goals are just dreams, and they ultimately fuel disappointment. Goals on the road to achievement cannot be achieved without discipline and consistency.
But no matter what challenges or setbacks or disappointments you may encounter along the way, you will find true success and happiness if you have only one goal. There really is only one, and that is this: to fulfill the highest, most truthful expression of yourself as a human being. You want to max out your humanity by using your energy to lift yourself up, your family, and the people around you.
I believe hard work pays off. Everybody that's successful lays a blueprint out.
You know when you know, like you know it, you feel it. And it's just that we convince ourselves that we're not feeling it, or we convince ourselves that it's not right or something, but you do know when you know.
The separation of talent and skill is one of the greatest misunderstood concepts for people who are trying to excel, who have dreams, that want to do things. Talent you have naturally. Skill is only developed by hours and hours and hours of beating on your craft.
Innovation is rewarded. Execution is worshipped. Your money changes when you execute.
It doesn't matter how far you might rise. At some point, you are bound to stumble, because if you're constantly doing what we do, raising the bar, if you are constantly pushing yourself higher, higher, the law of averages, not to mention the myth of Icarus, predicts that you will at some point fall. And when you do, I want you to know this, remember this: there is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction.
You know, if you don't surround yourself with other dreamers, here's what I know. If 9 of your friends are broke, you're going to be the 10th one. You've got to surround yourself with like-minded people. See, stop telling your big dreams to small-minded people.
Walking down another street means leaving behind ordinary. Ordinary just simply isn't enough. Ordinary is when you want to become average and to fit in. But to get to extraordinary, what you do is you have to consult the invisible place within yourself. And this is called your soul.
The time is now. The time is now to express and for people to believe in themselves. The time is now for it to be okay to be great.
I wasn't someone with an enormous amount of, in fact, I'd say I was someone with not much self-belief at all. And yet in this one thing in my life, I believed. That was the one thing in my life I felt I can tell a story.
You gotta put the work in. I mean, otherwise you're bullshitting. You're shucking and jiving. You're not serious. Whatever you do. Because if you're bullshitting, it's reflecting in the work. And if you're bullshitting, your stuff is not going to stand the test of time, because then they're going to say, oh, that was just a fad. But the great shit is timeless. Whether it's music, it's a painting, a novel, whatever the fuck it is.
What you put in it is what you're going to get out of it.
That's why you got to love what you do.
look, the fears and doubts are a part of it. Can I be honest with you? Everything I've ever done started with a fear. My walking out on stage, that starts with the fear. I have to overcome fear all the time. When I wrote my book, I was afraid. When they told me we wanted you to be a game show host, I'd never done that. I was afraid. When they said, why don't you do a talk show? I was afraid. I have to overcome fear all the time. But the best way for me to overcome fear is the dream has to be bigger than the fear. That's the only way you turn around and run at it. I just want something so great. I aim for stuff so big that the dream is bigger than the fear. Look at it like this, man. If you don't ever go for this, would it be better for you to face the fear or just deal with the fact that you just never gave it a shot?
Love you, Daddy.
Motivation at your fingertips.